Sheriff's Department, Blue. Wake up, man.
Body cam footage you are about to see has never been seen publicly and caused the feds to indict a West Virginia police officer. When that went to a criminal trial, the jury who saw it found the officer not guilty.
Sheriff's Department, man, wake up. Don't be swinging or I'm gonna put you in handcuffs.
This is some of the most disturbing police body cam footage that I have ever seen.
You want the solution? Give me the solution. There's the solution. Do you like that solution? I got that problem solver, man. I got that problem solver, huh? It's caliente, man. I didn't know anybody. Mucho caliente. Now, could you calm down so I can fix my tie, sir? I look a mess. I'm all disheveled. Stop fighting! Stop! Fight! We do this all night, man. Do this all night long. Stop stepping on me!
You awake? Rise and shine. Sit.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, man, you need to watch it, Winston. You need to watch it, because you've been real shitty with me. If you step at me like that again, we'll you up, Winston. You understand me?
Yes, sir. I'll never do it again, sir.
Push your sleeves up.
Let's pretend that you are a juror. I'll show you the evidence. Give me your verdict. I want to thank all of you for celebrating with me passing the 1 million subscriber mark. It's nice to get nice messages. Earlier this month, though, I got a really hateful message just out of the blue. Apparently, it came from a family member of a police officer that I did a video on back in August of 2022. It was about a West Virginia deputy who was arrested and indicted by the feds. And at the time, I could not show the body cam footage. It was not available anywhere on the internet because it was being used in this prosecution. I sent a FOIA request for it, but it was denied, as I detailed in that video over 2 years ago. After reading this hate mail that I recently received that said, "Get your facts straight," that said I lied, that called me a fraud and a fake lawyer and a punk, and told me to go myself, loser, and it included part of a story about this same police officer being found not guilty ultimately in his criminal prosecution. So I responded to this guy, "That's right, I remember this case, thanks for reminding me. Now that the criminal case is over, I'll send another FOIA request." Well, just a couple of days ago, I got that footage in. Was this deputy completely innocent? Was he the victim of a tyrannical federal government prosecuting him for political reasons? Let's look at the footage together. I'll try to be fair, and you can reach your own conclusions. This incident occurred in Monongalia County, West Virginia. That's where WVU is, up closer to Pittsburgh. These are the facts of what happened according to the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of West Virginia. Deputy Lance Carezza and 6 other police officers responded to a disturbance at the Residence Inn Hotel on January 20th, 2018. An investigation at the scene determined none of the suspects broke laws or would be arrested, but hotel management asked that they be escorted from the property.
But if we don't have any probable cause for an arrest, you guys be packing your stuff. We'll be waiting for you. And you'll be escorting off the property. We're trying to stop you guys from getting arrested. If we tell you don't go in there, don't go in there. If we tell you to be quiet, be quiet.
Thank you.
We're trying to figure out a way to get you guys out of here so nobody gets arrested.
As the group exited the floor, Carezza ordered one of the guests to open the door to a nearby room where he found the man sleeping. Carezza then allegedly began to shake the man and hit his feet to wake him up. When the guest explained he was sleeping, Carezza threw him off the bed and beat him. As the contact escalated, Carezza restrained the guest as the 6 other officers were in the room. This particular victim had a flashlight in his face and thought it was his friends just messing around with him. It turned out it was a sheriff's deputy, and from there it got really out of control. Carezza battered and used pepper spray on the victim while the victim was handcuffed. Then, while the suspect was being taken out of the property, Carezza allegedly continued to use unnecessary force. Then, the police report that was filed after this happened did not indicate the pepper spray had been deployed after handcuffs were put on the victim. In fact, it said that pepper spray was deployed before handcuffs were used, which was not consistent with the video evidence that we have. Now, this is the narrative that Deputy Lance Carezza wrote in his report. Deputies were advised that there were multiple males fighting and there were threats being made to shoot someone. Upon our arrival, we made contact with 2 rooms of males in various states of intoxication. I made contact with a male later identified as Quentin Graciano, who was lying on a bed inside one of the hotel rooms. I announced myself several times, but Graciano refused to get up. I attempted to shake Graciano awake, and he pushed me away. I eventually was able to wake Graciano fully, at which time he struck me with his fist. Graciano then rolled out of the bed and a physical confrontation ensued. Here's the actual footage.
Sheriff's office. Oh, come on. Would y'all step back for me?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Take your hands out of your pockets. Step out here. Hands out of your pockets.
Yep, sir. Here you go. Sorry, sir.
Step out here. What's going on tonight?
Step out.
We're trying to
Keep your hands out of your pockets. I'm not
I
going
was
to tell
gonna
you
take it
again.
out.
Step
Yeah.
outside. Hands out of your pockets. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. Stop moving. You understand me? Keep your hands out of your pockets.
out of your pockets. Okay. Fine. Do you want us to sleep on, sir? I'm good.
What's going on with you?
What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing. What do you mean?
Something's going on here because we're here. What's going on?
Nothing. What do you mean? I'm in this hotel room.
Okay, was there an argument or a fight?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Give me your ID.
You can have it. Yeah.
Okay, they just said that there was a fight. So what's your malfunction?
I have no malfunction. You can ask me.
No, I said what's your malfunction because they're all admitting that there was a fight.
You can ask them. I don't know.
They did ask them. I'm asking you because I asked you if there was a fight and you said no.
That, as far as I know, there wasn't. No.
So you're sitting here and there's 6 dudes fighting in the room and you have no idea what's going on. You're being very unhelpful and very uncooperative.
1,000% yes.
1,000% yes what?
1,000%. Yes. If there was a fight, I was here for it unknowingly.
You're that drunk?
No, I was here.
Stop talking.
My buddy Craig's laying on the couch and he's laying there. So I'm like, it's on his it's all good. Did it. It's all me. It's not when he gets it. My brother's like, dude, we're best friends. We're good buddies.
We're getting calls that you guys are threatening to shoot each other and all kinds of stuff.
Kill maybe, probably.
You were just saying like, freaking kill.
No.
Just as like wrestling.
Like, dude, get out of my face. Stop.
James?
Yeah, it's mine. And that's my best. That is my big. Like, they're my brother. That's my big. We're all friends. It was.
Asked them to leave and they've refused. We see no proof that hotel management has taken some sort of affirmative step to lock them out of the room or evict them from the room. Certainly in the middle of the night here, this was not their checkout time. The other exceptions that might allow the police to enter these hotel rooms under these circumstances would be exigent circumstances, such as immediate danger to others or destruction of evidence. Or there could be voluntary consent to enter by the guest. But here, since we're dealing with Mr. Graciano, he's fast asleep in his bed. He clearly did not consent to anything. Let's continue.
No, we won't.
All of us have been drinking all
I am the soberest one here. I'll tell you that. I'm the soberest one here, and these are both
I'm the most annoyed here, for sure.
I got it, man.
Sit back.
They're looking for
Sheriff's Department! Blue!
Wake up, man. Sheriff's Department.
Hey,
Wake up, man.
go.
Sheriff's Department, man, wake up.
Fuck.
Wake up, man.
127, Record.
Wake up.
Ow.
Sheriff's Department, wake up.
Valid to a Wetzel, subject to Tiazi's clear, Mary.
Sheriff's Department, man, wake up. Don't be swinging, or I'm gonna put you in handcuffs. You just...
At that very moment, Deputy Koretsa's body cam shuts off or is turned off. Which is it? I don't know. During the jury trial, after all the witnesses had testified and the evidence had been admitted, Deputy Koretsa's defense attorney asked the judge to acquit him, to just take it out of the hands of the jury. The judge issued an order describing the evidence that was admitted against Deputy Koretsa. So I will read to you the findings by the federal judge who presided over this criminal trial. Witness testimony has demonstrated Koretsa used force on Mr. Graciano after he was restrained in handcuffs. Indeed, the government's evidence has shown within moments of Koretsa entering the locked hotel room of the sleeping Mr. Graciano, the force began. Upon Mr. Graciano waking to the pokes and prods of Koretsa, Mr. Graciano swats Koretsa with an open hand. Koretsa's body camera is switched off, and somehow Mr. Graciano is on the floor of the hotel room in a prone position, in the narrow hall between the bathroom and the bed. Viewing the evidence in the light most favorable to the government, video evidence and witness testimony showed knee strikes and pepper spray deployment after officers Mongold, Koretsa, and Co. restrained Mr. Graciano in handcuffs. Law enforcement witnesses have testified that when force was being used on Mr. Graciano while he was handcuffed, they did not use force on Mr. Graciano because they did not believe force was needed at that time. There is sufficient evidence to convict Mr. Koretsa because a reasonable jury could find that based on the evidence offered in the government's case in chief, a reasonable officer in his position would find the force used was unreasonable. Therefore, the defendant's motion is denied. In other words, the judge found that sufficient evidence had been presented by the federal government for any reasonable jury to conclude that Deputy Koretsa was guilty of the crimes charged in the indictment. But in a criminal prosecution, unlike civil lawsuits where the courts use an objective standard, here it must be proven that not only did the defendant violate civil rights, constitutional rights, but that he did so with willfulness. Now, what does that mean? According to the jury instructions given to this jury by the judge, a person acts willfully if he acts voluntarily and intentionally with the specific intent to do something the law forbids. So if the government can't prove beyond any reasonable doubt that the defendant did these things, violated constitutional rights with this specific criminal intention to break the law, then he must be acquitted. And here, although the feds were prosecuting, the sheriff, the Monongalia County Sheriff, had this deputy's back. The other officers who were involved who were not being prosecuted really muddied the waters about whether or not Koretsa was completely ignorant that he was violating the Constitution. And perhaps that's all it took for a jury to conclude, well, the government hasn't proven what his specific intent was, and he didn't testify, as is his right. Deputy Ethan Mongold was asked under oath, well, what was Koretsa talking about? Do you know what the solution or the problem solver was? This was his answer. I don't. Question, do you know why you said give him the solution? And remember, Mongold said, give him the solution, responding to Koretsa.
You want the solution?
When he was asked, do you know why you said give him the solution? What was his answer? I don't. I have no recollection of saying it. But he did admit that Mr. Graciano, at that point, was handcuffed with his hands behind his back, which is crucial because all of these uses of force that occurred while Mr. Graciano was handcuffed, at that point, were all unreasonable. I mean, unless the jury were convinced otherwise.
Get your feet out. Hey,
Stop moving.
That's all right. I'll give you a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Oh, please, help me.
You done moving?
All right, man.
You gotta lie.
Koretsa's use of pepper
You understand me, Winston? Yes. You know what they do, though? They make more poor decisions. I never. Yes, sir.
What do you think?
I can knock no windows, sir. To the right, man. At this point, my patience with you is done. You know what I'm saying? Do it now. Watch, 'cause you've been real shitty with me. If you step at me like that again, we'll you up, Winston. You understand me?
Yes, sir. I'll never do it again, sir. I didn't mean to, sir.
Push your sleeves up. You know what? Stand up, man. I want to do your left. I appreciate you wanting to be super compliant. Don't be breathing on me, man.
I wonder why no jury, and perhaps they didn't hear, then the jury has to acquit. That does not mean that there were no civil rights violations. There were other elements in a criminal case and a higher burden of proof than you'd have in a civil rights lawsuit. Maybe the worst part here is that I think this police officer, after he was acquitted, this was the real consequence of what the jury did here, is now back there in Monongalia County, West Virginia, with a badge and a gun. This police officer, who we see through this video, seems to be absolutely a sadistic psychopath.
Do you like that solution? I got that problem solver, man. I got that problem solver, huh?
It's caliente, man.
I didn't know anybody. Mucho caliente.
Now, could you calm down so I can fix my tie, sir? I look a mess. I'm all disheveled.
Stop fighting! Stop!
District guilty.
Sheriff's Department!
And told me to